Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to my Porsche 958 second generation Cayenne. This has been a vehicle I've wanted to own for a little while. If you're familiar with my channel, I've had a first generation Porsche Cayenne, the Porsche 957. And while I really like the first gen, it's got a lot of off-road prowess. There's definitely some quirks and stuff like that, being a first generation product from Porsche. The 958 here, second generation, is massively improved. I think it looks better. It's about 500 pounds lighter. It doesn't have the low speed transfer case, but it still does have a real transfer case that's locking. So this still has most all of the off-road prowess. A lot of people build these into overland rigs, and it's because these are such capable SUVs. Probably one of the last real off-road SUVs, and Porsche designed these to go off-road. Hopefully the wind is not going to be too big of a deal. This is the first nice day I've got in a while, and I'm trying to take advantage of it and film this for all of you. So the front end is much nicer on the second gen, in my opinion, much sleeker, that type of thing. This one is a little bit special. I actually bought the highest mileage Porsche Cayenne I could possibly find. Now, this is the base model with the Audi 3.6 liter VR6 engine, which is a really great engine, one of Audi's best. And this particular one has 348,000 kilometers, which is about 216,000 miles. Now, the motor in this vehicle has been replaced. However, the motor lasted 330,000 kilometers. It was just recently replaced. So these are really reliable motors. The motor that's in here now only has a total of 79,000 kilometers. So the motor did last for a very long time. Like I say, about 330K, which is very impressive. This is mostly a highway driven Cayenne. Unfortunately, it's dirty because I live in Canada where we get a bunch of snow. You can see here the driver's seat is really not worn at all. Really nice interior here. I'm just going to step in so we can take a look. One of my favorite things about the Cayenne is the actual interior. And I'm going to just take my key out here and we'll start this up so you can get a better look at the actual gauges. Massively improved over the first generation. These are probably some of the nicest interior gauges I've ever seen. Fully customizable gauge right here. So I've set mine up with battery voltage, my oil pressure, and my oil temp. You can also have elevation. You can mix and match and add more or less to that gauge however you like. I really like having a digital speedometer as well as the analog. This will tell you what gear you're in. At night, the light is really crisp white light. It's a beautiful instrument cluster. Of course, we got the red hands there, or the orange hands, kind of typical Porsche. Beautiful interior in this. And then I really like the actual center console here. Some people might feel this is a little bit busy, but I really feel I have full control over the car with physical buttons. I really like this. Unfortunately, the previous owner installed a backup camera here and they kind of just poorly glued it to the top. Not much I can do about that, unfortunately. I was planning on ripping this off and installing an actual backup camera with a Mr. 12 volt integrated CarPlay that will use the existing screen, but I am planning on selling this vehicle. I've already purchased a replacement, probably one of Audi's even better motors and platforms. It is an actual Audi. So stay tuned to my channel. There's going to be some awesome videos on my new daily driver. But yeah, this was my daily driver here about all winter. Really nice weight to this vehicle. Excellent traction. Very comfortable interior. The seats are very comfortable, great visibility, and you know, it's a decent sized SUV, so it's got a lot of space. Of course, it's a Porsche, so your key is on the left hand side there. Definitely unique, definitely a little bit different. And you know, the seats here, I've moved these forward because I have my summer wheels in here. Again, I'm getting this ready to sell, so my seats are quite a bit forward here, but that's a nice feature. You can move the seats back and forward in the second gen Cayenne. But overall, this high mileage Cayenne, the suspension is all tight. It really drives like brand new. You would not tell this has 350,000 kilometers on it, or like 220,000 miles. It is incredibly impressive. The reason why I wanted a base model is, one, the motor is way easier to maintain. This has coil suspension, no stupid air suspension or anything like that. The Porsche Cayenne does have very robust air suspension. The problem is though, when it fails, you're out a lot of money. There used to be aftermarket air suspension that you could buy that was good. However, that's no longer the case. So if you have a Cayenne and it has air suspension, I would consider looking at converting it to coil spring. There are definitely some kits out there you can convert it over to coil spring. But that's kind of why I wanted a base model. And again, the base model is just so much easier to maintain. If you're wanting to get a second generation V8 model, I would stay away from the turbo, as the turbo is even more expensive to maintain. But if you want to get the V8 model, absolutely make sure you find one that has maintenance history. You have to find an enthusiast owned Cayenne. You really do. We'll step back in here just because of the wind, but it is so important for you to find a well taken care of Cayenne, a well taken care of Porsche, a well taken care of vehicle in general. These still can be expensive to maintain. However, a lot of the parts on these you can get from Volkswagen, like the water pump. Porsche makes a water pump that's like $350, but the Volkswagen one is like $120. Yeah, there's a Porsche markup there. I have put a new battery in this vehicle. It's under the seat. It's an AGM battery. Absolutely do not use lead acid batteries in a Cayenne. The battery is in the interior, and it will suffocate you if you have a lead acid battery on the interior. It has to be sealed AGM battery. Easy to do though. 4 bolts on the seat, the driver's seat, and like 3 electrical connectors. Comes right out, pop the battery in, no big deal. But yeah, you'll see a lot of issues with like bore scoring on Porsche Cayennes and timing chains and things like that. A lot of that's caused by not properly changing the oil at a proper interval, not the Porsche interval. For me, it's 5,000 kilometers every 5,000 kilometers, and I only use liquid moly, Mobil 1, or like AMSOIL. You have to use high quality oil, and you have to use high quality oil filters. Genuine Porsche, Wix, something like that. Do not cheap out and go to like a quick lube for your oil changes if you own really any vehicle. They're cheaper for a reason, because the quality of the parts they use is cheaper. So again, these are very robust, very reliable. You can see the kilometers there, 248,000. This has, like I say, been my daily for the winter here, and I absolutely do like it. However, it's probably bigger than I need. This is a pretty big SUV, and it's quite heavy, about 4,800 pounds. So I've bought a Audi platform, which is much lighter, much more potential for modding. So I'm excited to show you all this platform. And I think has pretty much Audi's best, or one of their best motors. Even better than the VR6 that's in this. But being this is a second generation Cayenne, it has the better 3.6 VR6, which is around 300 horsepower almost. Much easier to maintain, like the thermostat's easier to replace, all that kind of stuff. In the time I've had this, I've really just done minor things to this. I did a thermostat, I did a coolant valve under the engine bay, I did a valve cover gasket, and a battery. And like I say, I've been driving it around, and I've really, really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you're in the market for a used, reliable SUV, check out the Cayenne, the second generation Cayenne, the 958s. They're really, really well built. Try to find one from like an original owner that has some maintenance history would be really great. Someone that took it to the Porsche dealership for oil changes, and you know, The old saying is true, treat your car well and it will treat you well. And that's the case for something like this. So this is kind of like a quick glimpse. Again, more buttons way at the top there. Just all the buttons on this thing are amazing. And I really do like the control that you have over like just the vents in general. The heater controls are really nice. This is a touchscreen as well. The V8 models do have backup camera and things like that. So I really highly recommend taking a look at the second gen Cayennes, but absolutely like, share, and subscribe. I have, now that it's getting nice out, I have a bunch of really awesome content coming. We're going to see some new videos coming out here on my new purchase, which is replacing this Cayenne. I have sold my Avalanche, which was a really great truck to me. Again, I just didn't really need the truck. I thought about keeping it and maybe modifying it a little bit with like some wheels and tires and maybe a leveling kit and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I didn't really need the truck. So I've sold that, and I have this one for sale, which should hopefully sell shortly. And then I'm going to start a project or a build series on my new Audi purchase. So I'm very excited to show you all that, and stay tuned, and definitely leave some comments below if you've had any questions or want to chat about the Cayenne. You know, I'm always in the comment section, and I'll catch you all next time.